Hey guys, welcome to another session with Cam. Happy Friday. For those who want to, I'm doing something different, so you'll have a good view of your screen. Hopefully be able to see it all. We'll do a quick warm up and then I'll get you into the first movement flow, which is around 12 minutes long. And then the second one is a good core exercise, a different plank to what you're used to. It will be an 8-point plank. And from my experience, it's very, very challenging. That simple plank that way. But what we'll do is get up, get started, get moving. I'll go warm you guys up and then we'll start it all. A new little experience for me in regards to this format of the session. So hopefully it works out. If not, oh well, at least we tried. Under your feet, guys. Awesome. So hang down into a ragdoll and just pedal out that way. Hanging here for 4 or 5 seconds, and then from there walk all the way out into the top of that plank. I'm going to hold that plank there for 4 or 5 seconds, and then from there I'm going to go down into a slow push up all the way to the ground. Yeah, and then push back up. Take my bum nice and high, and I want to hang out in downward dog. Okay, so try and take your nose towards your knees, pushing back. Get comfortable here. Most of us are just out of bed. And then we're going to walk ourselves back in. So keep the hips really, really high, and then the head will come up last. And we'll go back down, same thing again. Coming down, ragdoll out. Moving the body. There, walking out. From here, down into a push-up, nice and slow. And then push up, back up. And then back into downward dog. And try and get those hips nice and high. And then walk yourself back in. And then head comes up nice and last. Awesome. One more of that. So down, hang out, stretch out. Let everything just move and flow. And then walking yourself out. Top of a push-up, holding there, and then down into the push-up. Back up, downward dog. And then walk yourself back in. And then come back up. Nice, good. Jump onto the ground. Get a little bit closer. Yeah. I'm going to go to that 90-90 stretch for some of those early in the week. So your feet are at 90 degrees. So my left leg is in front, okay, and then my right leg's behind me. So I'm going to go up and then I'm going to go towards my left. So if you need to use your hands, you can, and then twist towards your left, coming up, sitting down, coming straight back up. If you feel really comfortable with that and have great movement through your hips, try and just touch your bum down and come straight back up. Don't sit all the way down. It's up to you. I know you're only warming up right now, but really try and open up those hips and push those hips forward. Good. One more on that side. And then once you're done, change sides. I always find my right side, this side is easier, so I always do my left side first because I challenge with that. Coming up and back down, driving up. Back down, driving up. Nice. All right. When you're done there, you can face me. It doesn't matter. I'm going to go sideways. So I want to focus on the depth. If you look at my feet, okay, both heels are on the ground. That's what I want you to focus on. If you need to put your hands down, you can. Okay, just sitting here, and then just every breath, just relax and try and get deeper and deeper. So our chest stays up as much as possible. Okay. I like to move in this position because I know it's just kind of waking up my hips. Sitting down, females are always much better at this because of the way the biomechanics of your hips versus male hips. But I won't make excuses. Nice. From there, if you can have your hands on the ground, but try not to. And then just try and stand straight up out of it. Yep. And then from here, we'll come back down and then we'll do 5 or 6 froggies. Nice. And one more thing, just laying straight down onto the ground, and we're just going to do some back bends. So hands under the chest, and then bending up this way. If you want to look over your shoulder and do some mobility, you can. 4 or 5 back bends, and then we'll get into it. Awesome. All right, guys, grab a quick drink. I'm going to share my screen so you'll get instructions from the guy. This is called Foundation Training from Dr. Eric Goodman. He's a good guru in this space. I can send you these links. I'll put them actually in the notes as well. But hopefully you guys will enjoy. Some things I still can't do after doing years of this. I still can't complete the whole thing without coming out of it, especially for those working a lot, lower back, kind of around your trunk area, etc. You'll find little areas you can work on. All right, let me just share my screen. Perfect. All I want to know, just a little thumbs up if you can then see that now. Perfect. Cool. So all you're going to need is just a little space you can stand up. If you've got a yoga mat, if you've got a slippery surface, might maybe want to put something down, but you should be pretty good at home. And then, yeah, you just need nice and wide legs. He's going to run you through the whole thing. It goes for 11 minutes and 45 seconds. I'll be here on the sideline. I probably won't say too much because he'll just be instructing the whole thing as well. All right, are you guys ready? Up onto your feet. So you're just going to start nice and wide. I'll turn it up as loud as I can. Let me know if you can't hear it or anything like that. All right, here we go.
Bring your legs nice and wide. Slight bend in the knees, so you're not going windmill wide right there. Knees bent, hips back, arms back. Really pay attention here. Your shoulders are as open as possible. Your chest is high, your back is braced. You're gonna press your chest a little further forward, pull the hips back just a little bit. Take a deep breath. Keep your weight back on your heels and don't let your knees come forward. Don't let them come forward at all. Keep the knees right back behind the ankle. Slowly bring the arms all the way up in front of you. As the arms come up, you're gonna feel that tension really increase right at the lower spine here. Press your chest further forward, reach your arms out as far as you can. Push the hips back just a little bit more. From here, take a deep breath in. I want you to bring your arms across your chest, shoulders pulled back. We're gonna go 15 good mornings right here. Pay attention to what's going on right here. Make sure your lower back is braced and all of the movement happens at the butt muscle and hamstrings with a very braced back, chest high. You should be feeling a stretch in the hamstrings every time you push the chest forward. So keep going through 15 of these, keep rolling through it. Keep the knees slightly bent. Push the arms straight back behind you after 15. Bend the knees just a little bit more. Push the arms straight out ahead of you. Lift your chest high. Lift the arms up as high as you can. You're going to hold here as tight as possible for 10 seconds. Low back should be fried right now, really tight. Lift the arms a little higher. Go ahead and turn your thumbs down. Lift the arms up as high as possible. Hold right here, 5 more seconds. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, just stretch all the way down. As you stretch down, both knees are going to stay bent. You're going to push your weight back on your heels. Walk your hands forward about 6 inches to a foot. Pull the hips straight back behind you, leaning all the way back behind your heels. Press through the heels, press your arches down into the ground. Stretch your hamstrings as hard as you can. Brian, stretch your legs harder. Right there. Keep on pulling back. Your hamstrings should be trembling. That little tremble is what's making all the changes that we want to make here. Keep pulling back, keep stretching harder. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, push back to the knees, hands on the shins. Brace your spine as tight as you can. Arch your back, push your hips back, push the arms straight back behind you. Chest comes up, low back up. Pull the shoulders down towards your butt, lift the arms even higher behind you. Stay behind you. Really accentuating that upper back extension here. Take a deep breath in there. Slowly bring the arms all the way up without the chest coming up at all. Tight as you can get at the lower spine. 10 more seconds here. If you're shaking, that's good. Lift up a little higher, tense up a little more. Press your knees together a little bit, lift the arms even more. 5 more seconds here. Take a deep breath in. Stand all the way up, exhale. Bring your right leg forward, left leg back. Watch your knee here. Your natural inclination is letting that knee come forward. Don't let it. So bend your knee to here. Don't let it come any further than this. Push it back just a little bit right there. Shoulders back, chest up high. You're going to stretch out that left hip flexor a little bit here. Both arms come straight up in the air. Pull slowly back into extension. As you pull back, I want you to side bend towards the right. We're opening up this left hip from the ribs all the way down to the hip. Let that hip flexor stretch as hard as you can. Both feet are in the same direction. Your hips are square. I want you to press up as hard as you can on the toes of the back foot. Only part of your body moving is just that back ankle. Press up and down about 10 times, nice and slow. You're gonna get a big stretch on that left hip flexor as you're doing this, reaching those arms up as high as you can, pulling further back. Just keep pressing up as high as possible. After a couple more of those, I want you to let your arms drop. Open up your chest as much as you can. Bend that right knee just a little bit more. Keeping the spine braced, press your chest forward as far as you can. Don't let that knee come forward at all. All of that tension goes into the right hip, right hamstring. Lower back stays braced. Push the arms straight back behind you. Chest pushes forward a little bit further. Brace your spine a little tighter. Lift your chest up. Bring your thumbs out to the sides. The thumbs are going to come all the way out to the side. Externally rotate the shoulders and then pull the shoulder blades down towards your butt. Just 10 seconds right here. A couple deep breaths. Really open up. Create as much space at the front of your body as possible. Slowly bring the arms all the way up. Reach them straight out in front of you. Hinge forward as far as you can. Reach those arms all the way forward. Press through that heel. Bring the arms all the way up as high as possible. Right there. Not rotating yet. Lift up a little higher, Peter. There you go. Bring the arms back down just about 6 inches. You're going to slowly rotate out towards the right, keeping the chest high. You can do it either how Brian's doing it, just a static hold, or you can go repetitions about 10 or 15 times like Peter's doing. Either one's going to be really good for you guys. Just make sure the chest stays high, back stays braced, right hip is really tight. Press through that right heel, come back to the center. Bring your arms across your chest, shoulders pulled back. We're going to go 10 forward hinges here. Again, that right knee doesn't slide forward at all. All of the force happens at the right butt muscle, right hamstring, and the lower back is tight. The upper body is moving as one unit, no bending. Go through about 8 to 10 of those, increasing that stretch in the hamstring every time you press down. After about 10 of those, you're going to let the arms drop, chest up a little higher, come back to extension. Go ahead and stand all the way up. Let's go left leg forward, right leg back. Same thing here. We're starting off with that lunge stretch. Shoulders back, chest up high. Slight bend in that left knee. Don't let it come too far forward. Cyclists always want to get their quad to work for them. Don't do that. All right here. Pull further back into extension. Interlock your fingers, turn the palms up. Side bend towards the left. As you side bend, again, you're getting that opening from the right rib cage all the way down to the right hip flexor. Pulling straight back, lifting the arms up. You're going to press up on the toes of that back ankle. And again, just up and down a handful of times. The only part of your body moving here is just that right ankle joint. Every time you press that heel back, you're really stretching the fascia, all that connective tissue on that whole chain that affects the back, affects your posture, affects everything. So the slower you do this, the more tissue change you make, the better. After you've done about 8 to 10 of those, let the arms drop. You're going to press your chest forward as far as you can. Get that tension going to the lower spine. Chest stays high. Push the arms straight out ahead of you. You're going to reach out as far as possible. Build that tension into the left glute, left hamstring. Lift the arms up as high as you can. Push real hard into that left heel. Really tense up the spine, tense up the hips. Lift a little higher, Peter. There you go. Slowly bring those arms back down. And again, you can do it one of two ways. I want you to rotate all the way out to the left first. And you can either go repetitions, about 10 repetitions back and forth like Peter's doing, or just that static hold, really locking in right here. Getting that left glute and left low back to support your entire body weight here. Just keep on holding, keep the back tight, keep the chest high. Slowly come back to the center. Arms across your chest, shoulders pulled back, and we'll go 10 forward hinges here. All of that tension right here. Every time this is staying very locked in, back is extended, low back is tight. The movement is right there, right at that left glute, left hamstring. Shoulders stay back, perfect. After 10 of these, let the arms drop, lift your chest up, pull back into extension. Go ahead and stand all the way up. You're gonna go real wide legs, wide as you can go. Even wider, Peter. Even wider, Brian. There you go. Knees bent, back braced, arms straight back behind you, right into that first founder position. Chest up a little higher. Push the knees back a little further. Keep your head up, Brian. Extend your spine, sit back on the heels. The butt muscles are really supporting your entire body here. Slowly bring the arms straight out in front of your chest, and you're gonna press the arms forward as far as possible while you push the hips back behind you. Take a deep breath in. Challenge yourself here, 10 to 15 seconds, as hard as you can. Lift the arms up a little higher. Your low back should just be trembling by this point. Keep on holding it. Take a big deep breath in. As you exhale, arms across your chest, shoulders pulled back. We're gonna go 10 slow good mornings, pressing the chest down to stretch a little harder, pulling up with the butt muscles. Just like in that hinge on the lunge, you're using the butt muscles and hamstrings to support the entire upper body as it comes up. Shoulders back, chest high. Just keep on pushing into it. After 10 of these, push the arms straight back behind you. Chest goes even lower. Press the knees back just a little bit. Bring the arms all the way up without the chest coming up at all. Lift up as tight as you can. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, stretch all the way down. Pull the hips back. Walk your hands forward a few inches if you'd like to. Pull the hips back. The whole objective here, weight has to be on the heels. You're pulling your hips back with the knees slightly bent. I want you to keep your right arm down. Bring that left arm all the way up in a rotation. You're going to rotate 10 full times here, bringing that left arm all the way back down. Again, you can kind of do that little bend that Brian's doing, or you can do the whole arm movement like Peter is. No matter what, make sure that torso is rotating, not just the shoulder. So it's not this, it's all the way open from the hips. As you pull back, you're going to feel that stretch really go high up into that right adductor, that right inner leg. Keep getting in there. It's a big muscle for you guys. After 10 of those, you're going to switch sides. So that left arm is going to stay down. Right arm comes up for 10 rotations. Same thing. Hips pull back, chest high. Just rotate as much as you can. Real good. After 10 of those, knees bent just a little bit more. Hands back to the shins. Chest up, arch the back as tight as you can. The low back's not done yet. You got to work a little bit harder, about 2 more minutes here. Push the arms straight back behind you. Chest up nice and high, extend the spine, bring the arms across your chest. We're going to go 10 more good mornings here. Again, really get into those butt muscles and low back. Don't let your low back bend at all. If it bends, you're screwing up the exercise. Straight up and down, whole upper body is moving as one unit. After you've done 10 of these, push the arms straight back. Lift the chest up high. Bring the arms straight out in front of you. You're going to press your elbows together at 90 degrees. Palms touching. I want your each finger pressing together as hard as you can. So each finger is squeezing. Palms are squeezing, elbows are touching. You're going to press up as high as possible. Don't let the elbows separate. If they separate, it's a silly exercise. It doesn't work. Keep pushing up 10 to 15 times through that full range of motion without letting the forearms separate. This is probably the hardest thing you guys are going to do. It's really worth it though, especially for Lance. Really worth it. Take a deep breath in. Keep the hips back. Arms straight back behind you. It's going to help your swim stroke a lot. Chest forward a little further. Take a deep breath in. Slowly bring the arms up as high as you can. Take a few seconds bringing them up. Get that tension right back into that spine. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, press the elbows together once more. We're going to go 1 more set of these. 10 lifts. Press the forearms together. 10 lifts right here. Don't let the forearms separate. Keep the fingers together. Keep going. If this is too hard to do the repetition, just up and squeeze. Arms straight back behind you. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, stand all the way up. Last thing we're doing is just 1 lunge stretch on each leg. Right leg forward, left leg back. You got it. 1 more minute. That's all we're doing. Right leg forward, left leg back, shoulders back. Bring both arms straight up over your head. Pull back into extension and just open up that left side. So you're side bending towards the right. Hold that big deep breath. Just open up that whole left side here. This whole area is lengthening. Come back to the center and switch legs. Left leg forward, right leg back. Shoulders back, chest open, both arms go straight up in the air. Pull back into extension. Side stretch, reach those arms up. Open up that whole right side from the heel all the way up to the fingers. Take a deep breath in, let your arms drop. Go ahead, stand all the way up.
Nice, guys. How'd you go? It's like the lower back, like a fistful in your lower back, just as fries. It's like, oh, I struggle. All right, grab a drink. I'll give you kind of 30, 40 seconds, 50 seconds just to relax there. And then the next thing we do is a plank. Okay, so same thing again. I want you just to think about your core and not trying to get through these 20-second efforts of the plank. It's more about engaging, listen to what he's saying, and trying to really, really activate your muscles as much as you can. Ideally, you want to fatigue earlier than you can. Okay, so you'll find, oh, this is super simple. If you want a mat, if you're on something harder for you, you might need a towel or something under you, but it looks like everyone has something pretty solid. That's it, Jack. Same thing again, there's more workouts like this on there. I'll send you guys a link. When I put this up, I'll have it in the notes, but just ask me and I can send it to you directly as well. But this is called the 8-point plank. There's a little explanation at the start who explains it all, and then he gets into it. I'll just wait for those other guys to come back. As I said, this one's only 6 minutes long, so I think it's 8 sets of 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. But yeah, as I said, focus on the core, focus on the exercise. Don't just try and get through the time, and you'll get a lot more out of it. All right, I did this. Oh, not sure where it's gone. There we go. Wait, can you just thumbs up if you can see that, guys? Yeah, the plank, sweet, cool. All right, if you're ready, he'll explain it, give you some info, but practice while he's doing it as well, then he'll go through the whole thing. This one's 6 minutes long.
With the increasing popularity of our 8-point plank challenge, thought it would be a really good idea to show you how to do an 8-point plank the best way possible. I'm here with our foundation training program director, Jesse Salas. First thing we do, quick, easy tutorial on the 8-point plank. It's called the 8-point plank because there are 8 points of contact on the ground. 2 hands, 2 elbows, 2 knees, 2 feet. The elbows are ever so slightly in front of your shoulders because we don't want to have any pedestal-like pressure driving through the shoulder joint. So elbows about 2 to 3 inches ahead of your shoulders. The elbows should be about shoulder width or slightly wider, with the hands more or less straight ahead of the elbows, pressing into the ground. So to get into the 8-point plank is a slow, drawn-out process. The first thing is the head lifts as high as it can, the base of the skull lifting up. Next, the shoulders and the upper back lift up to meet it, like you're lifting the thoracic spine and the head at the same time. Once you're lifting the thoracic spine and the head at the same time,
I've lost sound. I don't know if anyone else has.
Yep, same here.
big away from the ground. You're going to hold this in the Tabata for 20 seconds, and then we're going to rest 10 seconds after.
I'll just go back. Sorry, guys, I muted myself, but it must have lost you. My apologies.
You're hovering the hips about 6 inches off the ground. You're pulling the abdomen away from the ground. And most importantly, you're pulling the back of the rib cage wide and big away from the ground. You're going to hold this in the Tabata for 20 seconds, and then we're going to rest 10 seconds after each one. The Tabata is an 8-round series. To get into the 8-point plank, real quick for each Tabata is this simple. Press the hands into the ground, press the elbows into the ground, press the knees and toes into the ground. Pull the head up, pull the shoulders up, pull the mid back up, pull the hips up, hold, and then relax. You ready? You ready? We're ready. In about 5 seconds, we start our first Tabata. Go ahead and put your hands in. Go ahead and get started. Hit start. Thank you. Okay. In 3, 2, 1. Press the hands, press the elbows, lift the ribs. Make the thoracic spine as big as you can. Lift the base of the skull. You're pressing the toes, the knees, the elbows, and the wrists into the ground. If you feel your lower back, that's because you're lifting your hips. Bring them down. Lift the thoracic spine, not the hip joints. 2, 1, come down. 10 seconds rest. Let yourself chill. Move around a little bit. Maybe change the leg position a little if you need to. Ready to go? Lift the head, lift the ribs, lift the thoracic spine. Let the hips slowly draw up. It should feel like the center of you, the belly button, the rib cage is all pulling towards center as the back of you expands out. About 5 more seconds in this one. Make a little more length into the back of the neck. Press the elbows down. Slowly bring the hips down. 10 seconds to rest. That's 2 out of 8. Ready? Pull the chin back and lift up into the plank. Thoracic spine gets big. As you press your elbows down, think of pulling your spine up to the ceiling. Press the knees into the ground. On this one, think of an X where the center of your pelvis is being pulled towards by all of the limbs. As you pull towards the center, try to lift a little higher, right at the base of the spine, and come on down. 10 seconds rest. That's 3 of 8. Right away, pull the chin back, big deep breath. I know it's getting tiring, but let's lift right into it. The purpose of these Tabatas is to make you a little stronger and to get past the weak points in your body. As you feel yourself starting to shake, press into it a little bit. As you feel your hips trying to lift up, almost like a sway back, like you're extending your lower spine, tuck a little tighter, squeeze the abdomen a little harder. 2, 1, come down. Rest for 10 seconds. You're halfway there. Keep going. Elbows out ahead of the shoulders. Press the palms, press the knees, press the toes, pull the chin back. 20 seconds on. Pull the rib cage away from the ground. Don't try to extend your spine. Don't try to look up ahead of you. Instead, pull the chin away from the ground. Squeeze the elbows at each other. Squeeze the hands at each other. Squeeze the knees and toes. 2, 1, rest. That's 5 of 8. 3 more. 10 seconds. Starts to get a little tiring here. This guy does this a lot. He's tired. You should be too. Press the elbows. Big, big, big ribs. Notice how the ribs come up and then the hips come up. Press the knees into the ground. Squeeze the knees at each other a little bit. See how that feels. Push the elbows towards each other and then push the elbows away from each other. See what feels better for you. Think about how annoying my voice has become this last couple seconds, and it's only going to get worse. Get down. 10-second rest. Couple more to go. How you feeling?
Good.
Press the elbows. Don't cheat. Get those elbows up a little. There you go. Big ribs. Big, big ribs. Make the back of the neck long. Press the knees into the ground. The 8-point plank looks easy, but at this point, you're realizing, guys, it ain't easy. It connects a lot of the muscles on the front of your body. The more you can shake here, the bigger I want you to make your ribs. The harder I want you to press your elbows. The bigger I want you to make your neck come down. Last round. Chin back, chest up on the way up here. Got 3 more seconds of rest. Press the elbows, press the hands, pull the ribs. You're fatigued here. When you get fatigued, you're going to start dipping your lower back and feeling compression in there. Don't do that. Breathe massive into the side of your ribs. Pull the spine up through your shoulder blades. Pull your head up to meet that thoracic spine and suffer for 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good work. That's your 8-point plank Tabata. Do it every day. Get better every day. That's that.
Oh, I don't know why that's so hard. Anyone else find that hard? Getting the elbows just slightly in front of the shoulders. Oof. Anyway, that's it for me today, guys. We'll breathe and we can stretch. But as far as your workout, I'll send you those links. But it's just foundation training. There's freebies on there. You can pay. There's heaps of stuff you can do. I think you can search some stuff on YouTube as well. But there's a lot of different stuff. That first little sequence we did or workout was designed for Lance Armstrong around lower back. So really, really good for a lot of people. And then that plank is just, that's what it is. Cool. Alrighty, let's do some stretching and then you can do some breath work and away you go. Nice, so let's sit up whilst you're all on the ground. And then since we did lower back, we will stretch out our hamstrings because they were trembling. Nice. Now let's keep your left leg out and bring your right leg in. And then let's go over towards one leg. If my left leg's out, I always like to take my right hand to it first and then my left. And changing sides, right leg out. Flex your toes, left hand towards it first, and then your right side. Nice team. We'll go on to our back. Now it's up to you if you want to go over and then pull yourself down like that, or if you want to, I'm going to take my feet nice and wide and I'm just going to slowly rotate from one side to the other side. So if you want a static, you can use your other leg and then hold it down. But for me, I'm just going to slowly move my hips so my knee touches the ground. Ideally, both knees will come nice and close and touch the ground. And focusing on just trying to keep the shoulder blades down, keep as much back on the ground as I can. Good. Change sides if you haven't already. Nice. And relaxing there. Give yourself a hug and just holding in there. And let's go into happy baby. So let those knees fly out, let the feet go out, and that's holding in there. Relax the hips. Don't hold on to anything. Let those knees sink down to the ground. Nice. And from there, we'll do lower back, figure 4, glute stretch. And other side. Nice, guys, and relaxing. So I'll just stop the recording for those who are playing on with the recording. We're going to do 3 minutes of breath work here today, a little bit longer, but it's called foundation training if you want to look it up.